What's up, guys? I'm Nobody Special. It is a rainy, gloomy Saturday here in the Northeast U.S., and there is nothing going on. So I figured I would talk to you guys. We're going to do things a little differently here. There's not going to be a lot of economics in this message, okay? We're going to wax philosophical today, so bear with me, all right? There's a couple of things that happened recently, and I just want to clarify a couple of things. First of all, I got a few comments over some recent videos about comments getting deleted. Let me just clarify. I do not delete comments. Okay, I want to make that clear. I love your comments, guys, and I want you to keep the comments coming. Your comments keep me sharp, and they give me ideas, and sometimes they even challenge my thinking, and I welcome that challenge. I want to make sure you guys know that. I do not delete comments with an asterisk. We'll get back to that asterisk, okay? Here's the thing. YouTube deletes a lot of comments. I don't know why, all right? For some reason, I get notifications that comments come in, and I make an effort to read every single comment that gets posted on one of my videos, okay? And sometimes I'll get that notification, and I'll open it up on my phone, and the comment is gone before I can even read it. I don't know what's going on, okay? YouTube deletes a lot of comments, all right? Here's a few things I've noticed. Comments with links, even legitimate non-spammy links, tend to get deleted, okay? I do not delete these comments. Now, I mentioned the asterisk before. The one comment I do delete, first of all, if there's anything like threatening or overly aggressive, which I've never seen on this channel, okay? So that's not really an issue. But I will delete that if I see that. You know, that kind of garbage has no place here. Keep it civil. But the other thing I'll delete is spam. And especially on the Bitcoin videos, for some reason, the spam comments are hilarious on the Bitcoin videos. The next time I do a video on crypto, you watch, within a couple of seconds, there will be this comment that says something like generically like, great content, love your video, love your channel. I really think crypto is so big. And then within 3 seconds, there's going to be a reply that says, yes, I made big bucks with crypto by following Dr. Vinny Boombots or some random name, right? And then there'll be a reply to him. I have heard of Dr. Vinny Boombots. He is excellent teacher. How might I get in touch with him? And then there'll be like this back and forth, all of these bots talking to each other. It's really kind of funny. We're probably going to get a comment like that in this video, okay? So I'll leave that up if one of those develops in this video because they're just hilarious. But what you'll see is you'll get like 49 replies within 3 minutes. Just repetition. And I've seen the same script with like 15 different names, okay? That kind of garbage I delete because that is clearly spam, all right? I do not delete comments that challenge my thinking. I do not delete comments that I disagree with. It's definitely not me. That being said, YouTube is deleting a lot of comments. So just make sure you guys know it's not me doing that, okay? I value your input very much. I don't do echo chambers, okay? Echo chambers do their occupants a disservice. I want to make that very clear. I do not want all the comments to agree with what I'm saying. I don't want it, all right? You know, if that's, I'd pay Smithers to agree with everything I say if that's what I wanted, all right? I want my ideas challenged, all right? I want theses that are contrary to my own, that make me go out and sharpen my own arguments. Or if I'm wrong, I want to know I'm wrong before I stumble blindly into a bad investment. So please point it out to me, right? You might be doing me a service. Okay, that's one thing, the comments getting deleted. Another thing is I had an exchange back and forth on Twitter. This is about 2 weeks ago. Somebody challenging Bitcoin. And I had mentioned in my live stream on Friday how, you know, Bitcoin people seem to be people who are anti-Bitcoin seem to have trouble getting past the lack of tangibility. And anyways, it was a good, in my opinion, a good, healthy discussion, all right? Valid points were being made, and, you know, I did not agree with it, but I was able to put myself in the position of this person and understand their misgivings about Bitcoin, and they're legitimate, all right? I don't think they're as big a deal as this person thought, but they're legitimate misgivings. And some of the arguments I did have to sit there and really hash them out and challenge myself. So, but after this exchange, this individual apologized to me for challenging my thinking. And I'll be honest with you, like the disagreement the whole time did not bother me one bit. Apologizing for disagreeing with me, that bothered me. I don't think you need anyone's permission to disagree with them. You don't need permission to disagree with me. I find that premise ludicrous. And that somebody would apologize for disagreeing with somebody. It's unnecessary. Don't ever apologize for disagreeing with me. I welcome it. Right? If you spend all your time with people who agree with you, you're never going to get any wiser or smarter. You're never going to learn anything. Those two occasions, right? The comments getting deleted and just wanting to reassure you that I don't do that, and the person apologizing for disagreeing with me on Twitter, just kind of brought me to this point about challenging your own thinking and stepping out of your comfort zone and how absolutely vital it is. Don't spend all of your time just listening to or talking to people you agree with. All right? Go outside your comfort zone and challenge your own thinking. All right? If you're watching my channel, chances are your economic philosophical beliefs tend to align with mine. Welcome, glad to have you. All right? Go watch another channel that disagrees with that. Even if it sounds so ludicrous to you, take your time to listen. Sharpen your own. They may tell you something that you don't know. If you never challenge your thinking, you're never going to get any better. All right, and here's an example I want to give you. Take a look at this guy here. Do you know who this is? Probably not. A lot of people won't recognize this face, okay? Now, what about this guy? Bet you recognize him. That's Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time, right? Most people agree Muhammad Ali was the greatest boxer to ever live. That first guy I showed you, that's Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes was Muhammad Ali's sparring partner, all right? And Larry Holmes is the only man to ever knock out Muhammad Ali in a boxing match. And Larry Holmes, after Muhammad Ali, Larry Holmes was the heavyweight champion of the world. Larry Holmes successfully defended his heavyweight championship 19 times. All right? Larry Holmes was arguably the greatest boxer in the world. Now, I think this is not a coincidence. I think one of the reasons why Muhammad Ali was the greatest of all time is because he had the greatest sparring partner of all time. He spent every day practicing against one of the best fighters that ever lived. All right? You don't want a sparring partner that's just going to take punches and then go down for you, right? That's what we have punching bags for. A sparring partner isn't a punching bag. A sparring partner is somebody who challenges you and makes you better. And who better than Larry Holmes? Do you think Muhammad Ali would have been the greatest of all time if he didn't spend every day practicing with one of the greatest boxers of all time? And maybe the reason Larry Holmes was so good is because he spent every day going toe-to-toe with Muhammad Ali. Geez, when you spend every day boxing Muhammad Ali, then you go up against some other guy, it's going to seem like a walk in the park. It's the same metaphor for challenging your thinking, okay? If you never step outside your comfort zone, if you only live in an echo chamber, you're never going to challenge what goes on and up here. You're never going to get any sharper, and you're going to get dumber and stupider. So again, keep that in mind. Seek out information contrary to your own beliefs, to your own thoughts, and strengthen your own position and your own point of view based on what you read. And actually go into those discussions or approach that information with an open mind. Okay? Don't just be waiting for your turn to talk. Actually approach them with an open mind. And this topic kind of reminds me of the best $1 that I ever spent. I talked about this in my live stream, how one of the things I like to do on weekends during the summertime is I like to take my girls to yard sales and thrift shops. There's a reason for that. Number one, I like to hunt for treasure at yard sales and thrift shops. I like to find things that I could flip and make a little money on the side. It's a cool hobby. My Darth Vader case back here, that's where he came from. That thing is loaded with original Empire Strikes Back action figures. I found that at a yard sale. Best yard sale find ever. Thank you very much. But arguably the best $1 that I ever spent was this. And this is Devil's Advocate Economics, the other side of the stories. Now, when I found this at a yard sale in a bin full of books, marked $1 each, my first impression was no pictures. Hey, what's up? But after I got over that and I actually looked into it, what Devil's Advocate Economics does is this takes a lot of popular beliefs that are just held as fact by a lot of people, and it turns them on their head. This book takes on a lot of issues that might make people uncomfortable. For example, your mission trip may not be helping. And it talks about somebody who spends $20,000 in medical preparation, training, and travel expenses to go to a third world country to build a $1,500 garage. displacing labor, displacing economic activity in that country. Is that $20,000 that that person spent to go over there and displace somebody's job? Did they really help that third world country by doing that? It also addresses things like the rich not paying their fair share of taxes, all right, and the absolute lunacy of that statement, considering how much taxes the wealthy in this country actually pay. Now, there are obviously cases of businesses that don't pay anything in taxes and, tax loopholes, but it is a fact that the majority of taxes in this country are paid by the super wealthy, one way or another. And it talks about David Tepper, the one-man budget crisis, who moved out of New Jersey and created a multi-million-dollar budget shortfall because he took his tax base with him when he moved to Florida. So New Jersey's aggressive taxes drove out this one taxpayer who was paying the fair share of taxes of thousands of New Jerseyans. And because he left New Jersey lost millions of dollars in tax revenue. So maybe these tax policies that demonize the rich are actually a little counterproductive. Now, if you're a conservative, or if you're one of the free market guys like me, don't sit there and say, aha, I told you so. Because this book also goes after a lot of issues that conservatives just widely accept as fact, such as, are illegal immigrants really bad for the economy? This book goes into describe facts that illegal immigrants, besides taking jobs that Americans don't want, actually produce a lot of economic activity. And the fact that they're here, they're spending their money here in this economy, they're paying sales taxes. And the fact that the children of illegal immigrants tend to become very high tax paying individuals later on in their lives. And therefore, illegal immigration actually is an economic incentive to the United States. That is not something you will hear conservatives talking about very often, is it? So this book is an equal opportunity challenger. And I'm not advocating for the positions that are in this book, but what this book is it is an exercise in challenging beliefs that you just accept at face value as fact. And it flips them on their head. Another thing, it talked about the story of Cecil the Lion. I don't know if you guys remember a couple of years ago, Cecil the Lion was this dentist, went overseas and hunted a lion, right? He was a trophy hunter, and everybody was so outraged on Facebook. Oh my God, he killed Cecil the Lion, this rich guy. They protested his dental practice and everything. They shut down, this guy had to close his dental office, so all of his hygienists and his receptionists lost their jobs. This dentist lost his job, okay, over Cecil the Lion, right? And that whole controversy was overlooking the fact that jurisdictions that allow trophy hunting actually have more thriving populations than jurisdictions that ban hunting outright, because they have a financial incentive to manage the population of the game animals in their jurisdictions. And then when they issue permits to hunt animals, they actually target specific animals, like overly aggressive males or older males. And they specifically avoid females of breeding age. And that because these populations are so well managed, because there's an economic incentive to do so, that the endangered species are actually doing better where the trophy hunting is allowed than in the areas where the hunting is outright. Now, that's not to say trophy hunting is this wonderfully ethical practice and we should all go shoot elephants and lions, right? I'm not saying that. But if anybody can find a better method for improving the populations of endangered species, I'm all ears. There isn't a better one. Fact is, nothing has done more, according to this book, and the numbers support it, nothing has done more to support the recovery of populations of endangered species more than trophy hunting. Now, take the emotion out of it, right? Because that's yanking on the emotional strings. Hunters are terrible, horrible people. Who would shoot at defenseless animals? We should shoot the hunters, right? Forget the emotion. Look at the actual results. Look at the cold, hard facts. Look at the actual economics of it. It works. Anyways, this is a fantastic book. I was so lucky to find this at a yard sale. I really like this. My girls are very young right now. I am going to set this aside, and I'm going to keep this. And this is going to be mandatory reading for my kids before they go off to college. All right? I want my kids to go to college. I'm assuming they're going to go to college, like every parent wants their kids to go to college. But I will not send them into that socialist echo chamber without arming them with this kind of knowledge before they go there. So, parents, if you have teenagers or if you have adolescent kids or if you're just interested in a quick, easy read to challenge your own thinking, I will put a link down in the description to this book. It's a little pricey, to be honest with you. I mean, I like I said, I found this at a yard sale. This is probably somebody's college textbook that they threw in a box and got rid of. It's a little pricey, for the length and complexity of the book, but I really enjoyed that read. Also, full disclosure, that is an affiliate link, and I will always disclose when I use affiliate links. But again, I just want to drive home how important it is to challenge your thinking. I would also reference Jordan Peterson, which, for whatever reason, Jordan Peterson is viewed as this uber right-wing pariah. I don't understand it. I've never heard Jordan Peterson say a single offensive thing or a single unethical thing. He says things that may make people uncomfortable, but there's no obligation that your words need to be comforting to people. All right, there's just, it's not written in stone anywhere that we must comfort everybody all the time with our words. And again, the only way you get any sharper is by having your thinking challenged, and Jordan Peterson is excellent at that. And in his book, 12 Rules for Life, Jordan Peterson has one rule. It's rule number 9. He says, in any conversation, assume that the person you're listening to knows something you don't. All right? Always assume the person you're talking to knows something you don't. Now, if you can assume this, if you approach every conversation that says, I can learn something from this person, it's going to make you more intelligent. Now, that's not to say every person you ever talk to is smarter than you or is better than you or that you're somehow subserving yourself to that person. All right? But you can learn something from anyone. Doesn't matter how high or how low their IQ is. All right? There's every conversation you have with someone, you have an opportunity to learn something. And if you approach that conversation that way, you'll be better for it. Don't just sit there and wait for your opportunity to talk. All right? And Peterson mentions a couple of common pitfalls. Don't use a conversation as an opportunity to advance yourself in some kind of social hierarchy, in some kind of game of one-upsmanship. All right? Because then you're just going to sit there, ignore everything that's coming at you, waiting for your turn to talk so you can say, aha. All right? Don't sit there just waiting to tell a better story than the last guy did to try to make yourself seem more interesting. Stop. Listen. There might be something good in there that you can learn from that person. And think about it. You have an opportunity with every conversation to learn about the experience and mistakes that somebody else has made. So maybe you can avoid those mistakes instead of walking face first into them yourself. And if you've ever watched Jordan Peterson in any kind of a debate or any kind of news interview, he tends to put himself in positions where people walk up to conversations with him like he's the Antichrist. And he's this awful person, and they throw these things at him. But you know what? Jordan Peterson always sits there, and he listens so intently. And I mean, he laser focuses. He's quiet, and he's digesting every word when the people are talking to him. And he does not respond right away. He sits there, and he formulates his response. And another thing he tends to do is he tries to unpack people's statements for them. He tries to understand and even simplify what people are saying. He'll listen to this person talking, and then he'll say, so what I'm hearing is you think X, Y, and Z. Is that correct? And it's him demonstrating that he is paying attention to what's being said. He's verifying his own understanding, and he's not just going into the conversation half-cocked, spouting off nonsense. And I tell you, Jordan Peterson is a tough cookie when it comes to debates and dialogue because he listens. He doesn't just wait for his turn to speak. And again, one of his rules for life is to approach every conversation with the actual internalized belief that your knowledge is incomplete and imperfect. All right? And that might be hard for some people, right? Allegedly, I'm very stubborn and very arrogant. Anybody with a YouTube channel is at least a little arrogant, let's be honest. But I try to approach every conversation with the belief that there is something I can learn from this person, that this person knows something I don't, and that I should shut up and listen. And it helps. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you putting up with me on my soapbox a little bit here. Again, this was really just kind of a philosophical thing today. I don't have any groundbreaking investment theories or anything with you. But if there's one thing you take away from my channel today, it's be a better listener. It will make you a better thinker. It'll make you a better talker. You'll learn something. You'll come out better for it. It'll make you a better investor. It'll make you a better person. Guys, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell. It really helps me out. I would appreciate it very much. In the meantime, live small and dream big.